PR Connections Radio presents. This podcast is brought to you by NVisionU. NVisionU has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With NVisionU, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code NVisionU.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're hearing this podcast from. Welcome to my podcast, Prospering in Health and Wealth. My name is Verner Dixon. I'm with VM Enterprise, and I am wanting to have a discussion with you about health, wealth, and wellness, and talk about how they actually interrelate with each other and can create a better environment for you, create a better work environment for you, a life situation for you, particularly if you have your health and you can focus on generating your wealth. And I think we'd have a lot to have conversations about. If you're interested, hang around and get your friends and relatives on board. And so let's get underway. Thank you. Let's go. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, depending on where you're catching me at. Hopefully it's Tuesday at 10 o'clock on PR Connections. And so we're going to talk about health, a little bit more health related issues on this particular broadcast. And I try to bring as much health resources and interviews as I possibly can. And so, as you know as well, I also have some medical issues, and that's the reason that I started this process in the first place. And I'm still focusing on trying to resolve my pain issues that I've had significant pain issues that I've had for a few years. And I've also indicated that I've paid for stem cells and some other things that I've done with a couple of other companies that have helped improve my process overall. And so with that in mind, I want to continue to do that. But I found that it seems like the thing that works best for me, and based on some of the research that's out there as well, anything to do with stem cells or exosomes, which is a product of stem cells as well, seems to be something that is becoming more and more valuable or more and more known, and processes are being put in place to resolve issues of your body. Basically, the stem cells new stem cell introduction actually helps your stem cells reprocess and rebuild themselves and help support whatever issues that you're dealing with. As an example, when you're getting older, your stem cells begin to function less because you don't have as much energy going into that area. So everything begins to break down. So if there's anything that you can do in terms of reigniting, I call it re-energizing those stem cells, that's the best thing in the world, because stem cells have been known to help improve cartilage in your body, help improve bone regrowth, help improve pain issues. I've heard other things too. People with cataracts, people with different issues and operations that they've had, and they start using some type of stem cell product or some type of peptide related to supporting your cells. And again, rebuilding those cells and helping those cells kind of re-energize your body and kind of turn things back a little bit, or at least slow it down. I mean, there's a lot of us want to be younger again, and there's a possibility of slowing the aging process down, but it's not going to eliminate it. You're still going to get old, and we still got that issue at the end of our life. But in the meantime, while we're here, we're trying to do the best we can. So today I want to talk to you about LifeWave. And LifeWave is a product or a patch that, hang on one second. LifeWave is a patch product that basically is a it provides phototherapy. And when I say phototherapy, that means it takes it's talking about light and energy, and you actually have a body that has energy and a light in it itself. Because when you see with those people with night glasses, night vision, they're looking for bodies in a building or whatever, and they see that glowing body. That's what it is. That's energy in your body. And so this particular product, this patch, basically reflects that wave that's in your body, that energy in your body, and helps you build or rebuild or help support your cells in your body. I mean, I could sit here and try to explain it all day. Let me show you a video in terms of what I'm talking about in terms of phototherapy. What is phototherapy?
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
LifeWave, live long and live well. And I'll be your distributor if you decide that this is something that you're interested in taking advantage of. The reason that I got excited about it, because I watched testimonials. And one of the testimonials that was significant for me, or at least it raised my interest, even to the extent that I started using the product. As a matter of fact, I can show you one of the products here. And this is what we call X39, which is an overall patch for overall body enhancement and support. But I was listening to one of the testimonials, and this lady had 4 major back surgeries to eliminate pain and frustration that she was dealing with. She started using the patch, and I think she said anywhere between 4 and 6 months, and I'd have to look at it again, but her pain is gone. And she's using a couple of patches, one at the X39, and there's another one called Ice Wave. And so that helps with the specifically pain areas that you're dealing with as well. So that's how I got excited about it, because this phototherapy, I mean, I had some reservations, as you probably would, say no patch can kind of do that kind of a thing. And the interesting thing about it, it doesn't put chemicals in your body. Basically, this patch just has some crystals in it, and basically it allows that bounce back of that thermal energy that's in your body to go back and start functioning and working with the cells in your body. And so what I've experienced, I've been doing this for about 6 weeks now, and I'm what they call chronic. I'm a chronic patient, so to speak, because I've been in pain for so long. I've been in pain for almost over 20 years. Uh, Actually, I've been in pain almost, yeah, longer than that, as a matter of fact. But anyway, it takes time. Some people can get a resolution or feel the benefit of it right away. And some people, it takes a little bit longer. And so they suggest, like in my case, 3 months of activity to see what direction we continue to go in. And so thus far, it has helped me with my sleep a little bit. So it has done something like that. I mean, improve my sleep a little bit and help with that. And the medication that I take a prescribed medication, oxycodone. And I've been taking oxycodone for years, and I've been trying to get away from that because that is a Schedule I drug. And so I've been able to reduce the amount of medication that I take for that. And so I'm encouraged by the temporary improvement that I've had thus far. So I'm looking forward to a future of no pain, and I'm looking for this particular product to help me move down that road. To kind of explain a little bit more of the wellness benefits, let's what is LifeWave 39? I mentioned 39. Let's take a look at the next video.
Today, we're going to focus on the X39, but each patch has different materials in it that reflect different wavelengths of light. These will again stimulate the surface of the skin, and this stimulates the nerves. So when we're stimulating the nerves, we can then send a signal through the body that will produce a very specific biochemical change. So in the case of the sun, ultraviolet light is used to cause the production of vitamin D, but we can use other wavelengths of light to produce other biochemical changes. And this is what LifeWave is all about. So then the question is, what benefits can you get from using the X39? And what is the X39? What is it all about? Well, LifeWave has been around since 2004, and we have a line of phototherapy patches. We have patches that are designed to improve energy, improve focus, improve physical performance, anti-aging, and other things as well. And the X39 is similar to these other patches in that the X39 is going to elevate naturally occurring compounds in the body that, by the way, would normally decline with age. But the X39 is completely different than any other product. And as a matter of fact, it's the third generation of our LifeWave patches. The big thing that you'd want to know about the X39 is that people refer to it as our stem cell patch, because this is a patch that's designed to elevate what's called a peptide, which is known to activate stem cells. And if you've seen any of the testimonials, then you already know the benefits of elevating this peptide and activating stem cells are absolutely stunning. And we're going to talk about that a little bit now. Now, the first thing that you'd want to know about the X39 is that it does produce an immediate effect. Now, this is really unusual for a product, and it's certainly very unusual in our industry. And this is one of the things that people love about the X39 is that you can feel it the very first day of use. Now, what's going on here? Well, one of the things that the X39 will do is increase the production of antioxidants and decrease inflammation. So people feel this as an improvement in their energy levels, reduction in pain, and an improvement in their overall well-being. And there's other benefits as well. So most people will notice within the first few days of using the X39 that they see significant improvements in their quality of sleep. So more energy. When we are elevating antioxidants in the body, we can also upregulate or increase the amount of energy that the cells produce. This is a very powerful anti-aging effect. And the way people see this is they notice their very first day, they're not as tired or as fatigued by the end of the day. So this is a benefit you can get from the X39 your first day or within your first few days of using this patch. Of course, another benefit of the X39 is an improvement in sleep. Now, of course, you don't normally associate an improvement in sleep with activating stem cells, and that's because the X39 patch does a whole lot more. But just for the moment, so you know, one of the benefits that you can expect from the X39 is noticing that it will indeed improve the quality and the duration of your sleep. Most people, by the way, that have given us testimonials on this, as well as what we see in our clinical research, is that people report that their sleep is very deep and they're sleeping longer. Now, some of the most impressive testimonials we receive in on the X39 has to do with dramatic stories of pain relief. And some of these benefits just have to be experienced to be believed. People with chronic, long-term knee pain, they apply the X39 patch, and within minutes of application, the pain is gone. Back pain, migraine headaches, arthritic shoulders, arthritic joints. This pain is managed and minimized all within minutes of application. So don't be surprised when you use the X39 that you'll see an immediate reduction in the level of your pain and an improvement in mobility and an overall improvement in how you feel. Now, here's another big one. Now, this doesn't show up immediately, of course, but it does show up starting at about 3 or 4 weeks and through about the first 12 weeks of using the X39. Now, when we activate stem cells in the body, one of the ways stem cells function is to increase the amount of collagen. And so collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. Now, many of us are conditioned to thinking that collagen is in the skin, but it's actually everywhere throughout the body. So you use the X39, you'll increase the production of collagen, and over a period of time, you'll start to notice that the skin will tighten and there will be a reduction in the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So look for those benefits starting at about the 3rd or 4th week and then through about 12 weeks or so. Now, other benefits that people get with the X39 has to do in the area of sports performance. One of the things that stem cells do really well is repair damage to the body. This is part of the natural healing process. So in other words, stem cells are going to be attracted to the site of injury, and then they're going to repair that injury. Now, what does this have to do with sports performance? Well, when we go and exercise, one of the things that we're trying to do is cause damage to a muscle so the body can repair it and make the muscle stronger. So what people have seen with the X39 is that not only is it going to increase the speed of recovery, but also sports performance goes up. As a matter of fact, people are reporting that they're feeling better and performing better than they have at any time in their lives. Now, another benefit that people have reported to us with the X39 is hair growth. Now, this is something that we have not demonstrated yet in our clinical studies, but we are getting these reports from many of our male members. Now, clinical research in this area is interesting because it's been shown that if stem cell activity in the scalp is increased, this would in fact lead to hair growth. So we're going to continue to monitor this, but this is something maybe you should look for when you're using the X39, yet another benefit. Now, something else that we've seen that's been very dramatic with the X39 is a reduction in the appearance of scars. One of the things that stem cells can do is initiate a process in the skin called remodeling. And part of this has to do with the increase in collagen production. It all simply means that there will be a reduction in the appearance of scars. And we have some wonderful testimonials about this. Now, perhaps the most exciting thing about the X39 and some of the most dramatic testimonials that we have received are in the area of wound healing. Now, clinical research has already established and proven that elevation of the compound that we're elevating with X39 causes stem cells to elevate production of growth factors and lead to dramatic increases in the rate at which our bodies heal. So wound healing, of course, is a natural process, and as we age, the quality of our stem cells diminish. So by the time we get over the age of 60, the stem cells are no longer moving very quickly, and they're not releasing the growth factors needed to repair damage to the body. So this is why people over the age of 60 and 70 start to notice they really don't heal either very well or at all anymore. So the X39 helps to support the natural wound healing process, and this leads to a faster recovery. And I would definitely encourage you to check out some of the testimonials that we have on this. Now, youth renewal is part of who we are as a company. We have been developing products over the years in the field of anti-aging, and the X39 is certainly no exception. So what do we mean by youth renewal? Well, X39 elevates a compound in the body that has been proven in clinical research to rewrite thousands of genes to a younger and healthier state. Now, let me put this in context for you. There's around 18 or 19,000 genes in the body that encode for proteins. And as we age, we start to lose access to this information. It's a process genetically that's called hypermethylation, but for you and I, what it simply means is that we can no longer access information in our bodies that we did have access to when we were younger. The X39 changes this, though. There will be thousands of genes that will be reset to a younger, healthier state that we will once again get access to. This means that we simply will have a healthier life and will have more vitality. So, question is, what should you do next? Well, first thing is contact the person who sent you here today so you can learn more about LifeWave and our products and, of course, our business opportunity.
So there. I mean, all the things that he talked about, as I've indicated before, I am no spring chicken. And some of the things that this product or these products support, I'm looking for all of them. I'm looking for a younger me. I'm looking for more energy. I'm looking for pain relief. And I'm looking for the general support of my body as well. Because I don't think I've said this before, but I'll be 80 years old this year. And so I'm looking to be around for a little bit, at least physically healthy, so that I can interact with my 7 grandkids. I keep joking about that. But in the meantime, before we run out of time, I want to let you hear what a doctor thinks about this. And so maybe there's we can run this other video about the doctor.
Ed, tell us about you besides being married to this hottie to your right. Like, she's so cute and gorgeous, right?
No,
Full of energy.
I lucked out.
Yes.
So, I'm actually a doctor. I was an anesthesiologist for 23 years and left anesthesia about 3 years ago to do health optimization medicine. So I am an outside the box and very open physician, but I was extremely skeptical about the patches. I absolutely believe that there's a lot to photobiomodulation and so forth, but I looked at these little patches and just kind of shook my head and said, this is goofy. Until Thora had this reaction, and then she said, you've got to put these on, because I had been limping around with an Achilles tendonitis for about 8 months. And luckily,
complaining every day.
Yeah, I was man whining about it. So
new term, man whining. I like it.
Yeah, but luckily for me, the first night I had about 80% decrease in my pain. So despite my skepticism and being an overeducated New Englander who says anything that's network marketing, multi-level marketing's got to be a scam, I also know enough to eat my pride when evidence hits me in the face. Right. So basically over the past 4 or 5 months, I've slowly started incorporating the patches into my practice, initially with patients who had problems that I had not been able to solve, and they were basically seeing me because nobody else had been able to solve them. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten more and more comfortable with it. And we have at least a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people that I work with, either in my practice or who are nurses that I've worked with in the past, who are on the call here tonight, because I have basically become an apostle of David Schmidt. It's really changed my practice. You know, I've changed my practice to really, I'm looking to incorporate these as the first tool that I introduce people to, because I just feel like it is going to solve so many problems that otherwise everybody's beating their head against the wall to try to fix. And so I'm very excited to hear other people's testimonies, because I can tell folks that I really think this is going to help them, but having some type of evidence or testimony, some type of hope to point people toward is really important. So I thank all of you guys for sharing your stories.
And I always say, if you want to know that this patch works, go to convention and just go to the bathroom and stand in line and ask everybody in the bathroom that you're standing in line with what the patch has done for them, and take out your camera, because you're about to be amazed. I said some of the best testimonies I got when I was standing in line to go pee. And I'm like, this is crazy. These people are telling me this patch has completely transformed their life, their health, you know, their finances. And so make sure if you're going to convention, you guys, you get your camera. And I always tell people, hey, would it be okay if I recorded what you're telling me? Because I got a feeling it's going to help and change some lives. And people generally in this community, it's so awesome. Like you said, Ed, they're just so open and apt to want to share. You know, it's like people want to tell others what's happening because they feel so good, right?
I mean, yeah. And I mean, and that's interesting, because I wanted you to see that before the end of the show, because he's only one of the doctors that are using the product and also incorporating it into their practice. And there are other presentations where a room full of doctors or most of the doctors that are doing the speeches or having their say are using the product themselves and adding it to their practice. I mean, one doctor, and I think I mentioned this before, because I got this friend who has had heart issues and had skin issues, and we joke about it because he's gray as well, and he used to dye his beard and his mustache really brown, and he said because he's been using the patch now to help him with his heart and his other issues that he's been having. He's noticed that the brown is coming, his natural color is coming back. And also he's noticing that he has hair growing on the top of his head again. And so I'm not interested in the hair part, but the other thing is that it's an overall enhancer of your body's cells. And that's what's significant about it. And there's so many people who are excited and improving and getting better. One lady even talked about the fact that she had cataracts and she's wearing glasses and needed an operation. So she started using the product, She no longer has the cataracts. She doesn't wear glasses, and she does presentations as well. One teenager broke his collarbone, and you could see the x-ray with the 4 screws in it and the collarbone just sticking up. And the doctor told him, he said, well, it's going to be up to 13, I think it's 13, 18 weeks or whatever, before you can get back on the field or whatever. And he went back for his checkup, and he's only been out for 30 days, and he's been taking putting 2 patches on his shoulder. And the doctor said, you're good to go. You're it's amazing. And he said, what are you doing? And they talked to him about it. So he's going to be using that in this practice as well. Anyway, it looks like we just don't have enough time for everything that I'd like to talk about, but I'd like you to know that if you're interested, reach out to me, 702-580-9397, or I'm on social media platforms, wherever, and you can catch me every Tuesday at 10 o'clock on PR Connections. And so with that in mind, if you're excited, reach out to me, like I said, and in the meantime, until we meet again, I'd like you to continue to be blessed, and I want you to know that the best is yet to come. That's what I'm looking for. The best is yet to come. Have a blessed one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
This podcast is brought to you by NVisionU. NVisionU has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With NVisionU, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code NVisionU.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.